Welcome, welcome. Positive news. So yesterday I was talking about how we're doing the song and dance with everyone in the house. Not sure if this Genius Act was going to pass or not. It looks like it will be passed. They voted and everything is good. This is huge. Just 2 years ago, if I were to sit here and tell you that we would be this where we're at right now in the US, you would say that I'm crazy. The fact that we have a president that is behind digital assets, the fact that we have Bitcoin treasuries coming in and just inflows, and now even ETH treasuries, just companies, ETFs buying digital assets, buying crypto, you would say that you're out of your mind. But it's happening way quicker than you and I probably could have even imagined. It's happening. And if you're just like me, you're talking to a lot of people that's still not really fully into Bitcoin, don't understand it. They think it's all about memes, which means that we are so early. And if this thing hits and this adoption takes off quicker, like it's happening right now, you and I are in for something huge, really huge. And I just want you to appreciate what's about to happen. Now, we have to temper our expectations because there could always be a black swan or something like that. But it's big things happening in this space, and we are so early right now. So, that financial freedom that we've always been wishing for could be here before you know it. So let's get into some of the big news that I'm sure if you're in the crypto space right now, you've been hearing a lot about. But yeah, let's get into that. There's some crazy stuff going on, guys. Crazy. So first off, let's talk about this. The House confirmed that the Genius Bill, may be passed and signed into law tomorrow. This is stablecoin regulation here in the US. This means companies that were on the sideline, not sure if they should enter the space or not because of, all the FUD that's out there. And I'm going to play a video of some FUD that some politicians are spreading that they weren't sure if they were going to get into it. This allows them some clarity and a green light to get into it. Maybe dip their toe into it a little bit, which just means a lot of money is coming into the digital asset crypto space. But let's take a listen to this video here. It's only about 18 seconds long, but let's see.
So Bill delivered, and we have partnered with him to deliver here in the House. And now tomorrow, President Trump gets to sign law, his first of several bills to come that will help make America an incredible leader globally in digital assets. And with that, let me
play that again because I have some audio issues, but this is crazy.
So Bill delivered, and we have partnered with him to deliver here in the House. And now tomorrow, President Trump gets to sign into law his first of several bills to come that will help make America an incredible leader globally in digital assets. And with that,
first of many to make America the leader in digital asset space. First of many. There's also talks about maybe allowing tax-free crypto payments as long as they're under a certain amount. The number that's being floated out there is $600. Bitcoin payments, right now Bitcoin is the one that I'm hearing about, but maybe ETH payments, Solana payments. As long as they're transacting under $600, it is tax exempt. If that happens, do you know the amount of money that's going to come into the space it's already coming in? Then on top of that, you have the backdrop of these spot ETFs that should be coming. Solana, Litecoin, SUI, XRP. It's a crazy time to be alive, y'all. Crazy time. If that wasn't good enough, according to people familiar and close to the cabinet there, tomorrow or sometime soon, there is an announcement that U.S. retirement markets may be able to invest into some crypto assets. Now, we know we have Fidelity that allows some Bitcoin trading and all of that, but President may be signing an executive order to allow 401k plans to tap broad pool of alternative assets. Now, this fits into the theme of making the U.S. one of the leaders in the digital asset space. That would be bonkers if that really happens. I don't know. The executive order would instruct Washington regulatory agencies to investigate the remaining hurdles, keyword, the remaining hurdles, needed to allow such alternative investments to be included professionally managed funds used by 401k savers. You add the backdrop of spot ETFs, and then the 401ks are allowed to put a lot of these funds into digital assets, it'll be crazy. If you work for a Fortune 500 company, chances are they're pushing a 401k on you, which I believe is still good for retirement. Definitely need to do that. It's tax-free savings. But if some of that money comes in with all the other money that's flowing into the digital space, it's going to be crazy. But this is also bullish. But let's temper, you got to have the yin and the yang. Let's talk about some FUD that's going out there. In this bill, just to let you know, I'm not political. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm straight independent. But here is, if you look at this, the law, all of the Democrats sided against the law. They didn't want crypto or this bill to be passed. And some of the reasoning was this here, what she's mirroring here.
And guardrails to make sure that crypto isn't used to blow up our entire economy. So I'm very worried about that, but I want to add one more twist, and that is the clarity bill has all those problems, but it also has a provision in it that would let any company listed on the New York Stock Exchange opt out of SEC regulation by just digitizing themselves, put themselves on the blockchain, and all of a sudden it turns out that Amazon or Meta or General Motors is no longer governed by the SEC. You do realize that literally would blow up the value of the New York Stock Exchange.
So someone in the comments here asked Grok about this, and Grok's response, if you're not familiar with Grok, it's Twitter's or X's version of AI, ChatGPT, their version. And this was his response. I thought was very interesting. It said if SEC oversight weakens on tokenized stocks, RWA, side effects could include heightened fraud, volatility. I said volatility, manipulation risk, but also benefits like global liquidity and lower costs. Collapse is unlikely, markets are resilient, and tokenized assets are a small fraction of the total value. More probable is that adaptive regulations emerge, blending innovation with protections preventing systematic blowups. So there you have it. All that FUD that was just talked about, like they said, markets are resilient, they will adapt, and things will be okay. It won't blow up. Also, this was talked about today, big news. Billionaire Jack Dorsey, who used to own Twitter, but now owns Cash App, is called Block now. And he launched an app where users can send Bitcoin without the internet, which is bananas to me. Some of the big opponents of Bitcoin and say, well, what if the internet's down? How are you going to send money? What's the purpose of Bitcoin if you don't have internet? This right here says, well, look at this. All you need is a Bluetooth connection, and this can work. So I'm interested to see how this works. There was a little display here on this transaction actually happening. But this is a wait and see approach. But I like the innovation. I like where he's going with it. So basically, Bitcoin transfers via Bluetooth Low Energy mesh networks. So work in progress, but I can't wait to see how that plays out. Also, I talked about Say earlier this week or last week. The days are starting to blend in together, which is an altcoin that I'm very, very bullish on. But even more bullish news announced today that Ondo we know is big in the RWA space, is launching their USDY, US dollar yield tokenized note on the Say blockchain, which is huge. Very, very huge. It's another just feather in the cap for Say. Again, stablecoin law is about to be passed. Wisconsin is using Say blockchain to launch their stablecoin. Circle has a boatload of Say. Just bullish news going on there. So another bullish thing that I saw, Canary Capital has filed for staked injective ETF. Probably one of the first times I've heard that someone is filing an ETF for injective. But injective is on the Cosmos blockchain, but they're transitioning to EVM. They had a good bull run earlier when we had those peaks of little bull cycles for the altcoins, and injective was one of them that was really blowing up. Still a good protocol, just adoption is an issue. But this will be good. If this passes, hey, it could be good for Injective. And if this crypto space starts blowing up, a lot of these altcoins are going to run hot, and Injective could be one of them. So I just thought I'd mention that because Injective is an interesting project. Also, on the news of the stablecoin bill, we have Citigroup looking to issue their own stablecoin. It's the third largest banker. Also, earlier this week, Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, was always bashing crypto, bashing Bitcoin. But he even said, hey, at this point, we have to adapt. And they're looking into a stablecoin as well. So everyone's falling in line. And just, things are looking quick, looking great. And it's happening quicker than I thought it can ever happen. I don't know, guys. If this thing continues on this same trajectory, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful 2025, y'all. Also, 3 charts are supporting that maybe we are in altcoin season. Bitcoin dominance has ticked down a bit. ETH has been rising due to the massive inflows of the ETF. I'm not sure if it's altcoin season yet, just because I don't think we've reached the top for Bitcoin, but who knows? And according to this analyst here, based on the cup and handle, altcoins seem to be on the brink of a bull cycle. And this is the chart that they're referring to, basically. One last hurdle to overcome, but once this clears 1.1 trillion, everything goes nuts. And we are currently here. So there's that cup and there's that handle. So if things plan out, and if they go the way chartists think it could go, this is where we're headed. And this is the backdrop of all the news I just talked about earlier. So we'll see. I don't know. So let's take a look at CoinMarketCap. We see that the crypto market cap's at 3.8 trillion, up 3%. We're still in the greed mode, not extreme greed yet. Price of Bitcoin at the time of this video is 118,000. ETH at 33,000. I'm sorry, 3,300. XRP's at $3.05. I think I need to refresh this because XRP is much higher than that. There we go. Bitcoin's at 119. ETH's at 3,500, and XRP's at 3.5. We have Solana at 176. Can Solana hit 180 today? Let's see. Can XRP hit $4? I don't think XRP's hit $4 in forever. If that happens, that'd be great. Doge on a rise. Cardano's trying to hit $1. They're at 83 cents. XLM's at 50 cents. Hype Liquid is at 46. Sui's at $4. Is holding steady above 4. I love it. Chainlink is trying to hit that $20 mark, $17.99. Hedera's at 28 cents. Bitcoin Cash at 500. Look at Avalanche, finally over $20. They're at $23. Sheev is coming to life a little bit. Toncoin is still down from their all-time highs. They're at $3.20. Litecoin, another one of my favorites, finally over 100. We were at $80 for the longest time. So that is nice. Overall, I hope you see the trend. The trend is up for these alts, and Bitcoin is still going up as well. Could we see a scenario where Bitcoin is rising and alts are rising at the same time? So alts typically at the tail end of a bull cycle is when they really, really pop off. And that puts us in the fall area, winter. So we'll see what happens. So guys, that's my video for today. Things are looking very, very good. Could we end the week off with this executive order that is being talked about and this Genius Act being signed into law tomorrow? That'd be a perfect end to a great week. So that's it, guys. Enjoy. We're at the brink of something beautiful here, and I'm here with you, and we're going to enjoy this ride together. So I'll talk to you later. Have a good night. Bye.